Welcome back to DevOps Hint. In this video, we are going to learn Ansible. So firstly, you can see here. Hello friends, welcome back to DevOps Hint. In this video, we are going to learn Ansible. So Ansible is nothing but configuration management tool. It's like a shape and puppet. So it is a configuration management tool for design to deploy, configure and manage server. So in this video, we are going to cover these points. What is Ansible? Why we use Ansible? Ansible architecture, features of Ansible, and then in last, how to set up Ansible on Ubuntu 20.04 LTS. So let's start. What is Ansible? Ansible is a very simple open source and human readable automation tool. It is agentless and use SSH connection to orchestrate all the tasks which we were talking about, such as configuration management, application deployment, and provisioning in a flat or multi-tier environment. So in a very short span of time, it has become one of the most popular open source IT automation tool. And in a simple language, Ansible is a configuration management tool designed to deploy, configure and manage server. So that's the Ansible. Then why we use Ansible? Ansible automates and simplifies repetitive, complex and tedious operations. Everybody likes it. It brings huge time saving when we install packages on configure large number of servers. Its architecture is simple and effective. It works by connecting to your nodes and pushing small programs to them. So the big reason we are using Ansible is time saving. Then Ansible architecture. So here you can see this is the basic architecture of Ansible. So Ansible server, then playbook, inventory, node 1, node 2, node 3. And here you can see Ansible server connect to node using SSH. So firstly, what is playbook? Ansible script which execute tasks in an order are known as playbook. So in playbook, that's our YAML script that ate another markup language. Playbook are one of the core feature of Ansible and tells Ansible what to execute. Then inventory. Inventory is just another text file where you keep the IP address or host name of your remote server you want to manage. So that's the basic architecture of Ansible. Then next is features of Ansible. So there are 4 features of Ansible. The first is easy to set up. Setting up Ansible is a very easy task. You just need to run few commands and that's it. So the next is agentless. This is so here it doesn't require any agent software to run on your client system. That directly means more resources available for your application. It makes it very efficient in nature. You just need the SSH connection to be established to your job, and it enables you and your team to start automating things right away. Then Python as a backend. Ansible tools is a build on top of Python language, which makes it very fast and one of the robust tool among its competitors. Then simple and human readable. In Ansible, the automation script we write are called playbooks. And those playbooks are written in an extremely simple language called YAML. YAML is a human readable data centralization language. So one no need to acquire any training to gain some special coding skills to write to understand the Ansible automation playbook. So that's the features of Ansible. So I hope you understand what is Ansible, why we use Ansible, architecture of Ansible, and then features of Ansible. So the next is, now we are going to install Ansible on Ubuntu 20.04 LTS. So for that, firstly, we need to create 3 instances. So here you can see this is my AWS account, and now we are going to create 3 instances. So click on launch instances. Then here you need to choose an AMI. So here I will choose Ubuntu. Then the second step is choose an instance type. So here they give us by default t2.micro. Then click on next. The next is configure instance. So here you can say number of instances you want. Then I want 3 instances. Then add storage. So keep as it is. Then next, configure security group. Select an existing security group and then default. Then review and launch. So review once it's correct or not. So yeah, it's correct. Now click on launch. Select a key pair, Windows, I acknowledged, launch instances. Now if I scroll down, view instances. Now you can see here, our instance state is pending. Wait for a few seconds. Now we are going to enter name of our instances. So you can see our instance state is running. So first instance for Ansible server. Then second for node 1. Now third for node 2. Now open notepad and we are going to paste our IP address. First node 2. So then node 1. Then Ansible. Now we are going to connect connect our Ubuntu terminal using this mobile stream. So now click on session, then SSH, and here you need to paste your IP address. So now firstly we are going to connect with our Ansible instance. So paste the IP, specify username Ubuntu, then advanced SSH setting, use private key, and here you need to give path of your key pair. So here is my Windows key pair. Okay. Now the next session for node 1, session SSH, remote host, then default name is Ubuntu, advanced SSH setting, use private key, then this is my key pair. Now third for node 2. Now you can see here, this is my Ansible server, this is node 1, this is node 2. So now In Ansible server, we are going to install Ansible. So firstly, we need to update our system package. So run the command sudo apt-get update. So you can see here, firstly, we need to update our system package. Then we are going to install Ansible. So now it's done. Now we are going to install Ansible. So run the command sudo apt-get install Ansible. So I can say yes. Now it's done. Now clear the screen. Now we are going to let's check the version of our Ansible. Then run the command Ansible -version. So you can see the details of our Ansible. So now clear the screen. Now let's check the next step. So it's done. So let's check the next step. Now go to the host file inside Ansible server and paste the IP of your node 1 and node 2. So for that, firstly, we need to run this command in our Ansible server. So this is our Ansible server. We need to run this command. And here, firstly, we need to create a group. So using this bracket, so enter name of your group. So here I will assign DevOps hint. And here you need to enter IP of your node 1 and node 2. So this is my node 1 IP. And then this is my node 2 IP. Now save the file and exit. Now the next step is, now this host file is only working after updating Ansible configuration file. So for that, we need to update our configuration file, and in configuration file we need to uncomment these lines, first inventory, then sudo user. So for that, go to your Ansible server and here run the command sudo nano etc ansible configuration. And here you need to uncomment this inventory line as well as sudo user. Now save the file and exit. Now it's done. Now clear the screen. And now the next step is to create one user in all the 3 instances. So firstly, we are going to creating user in our Ansible. Then run the command sudo add user and name of your user Ansible. Then it will ask password, so enter any password, then re-enter. Yes, now it's done. Now same for node 1. So clear the screen first and run the command sudo add user and name of your user is Ansible. Then enter password of your Ansible, then re-enter. Yes, same for node 2. So firstly clear the screen, then run the command sudo add user Ansible, then enter password, re-enter. Then yes, now it's done. Now go to the Ansible server. So this is my Ansible server. Now clear the screen. Now switch to the Ansible user. Using this command, run the command su-ansible. So enter a password of your Ansible. Now you are in Ansible. You can see here Ansible. Now here Here you can see. Now go to the, now this is user don't have sudo privilege right now. If you want to give sudo privilege to Ansible user, so run the command. So let's check. So run any sudo command, sudo apt-get update. So run your Ansible, enter your Ansible password. So you can see Ansible is not the sudo's files. This incident will be reported. So firstly, you need to exit, that means log out of Ansible, and now run the command sudo vsudo. And here you need to add this line below admin here. Now save the file and exit. Same for node 1. Run the command sudo vsudo. Then here now save the file and exit. Same for node 2. Sudo vsudo. Then below admin, you need to run the add this line. Then save the file and exit. Now let's check. So firstly, switch to Ansible user and then run the command. Then enter your Ansible password. Now run the command sudo apt-get update. You can run any sudo command. So you can say it's working. So let's check in node 1 also. Firstly, clear the screen, then switch to Ansible user. Then enter your Ansible password. Then run any sudo command. So you can say it's working. So now it's done. So you can see it's update system package. It's updating system package in our node 1. Now it's done. Now clear the screen. Now let's check the next step. Now the next step is now established connection between server and node 2. So now we are going to connecting, this is my Ansible server and now I'm going to connecting with node 1. So run the command ESSH and now you enter your IP. So this is my node 1 IP. Now I'm going to connecting with node 1. So I can say yes. So you can see a permission denied. So here you can see output you will getting here is permission denied. This is due to SSH restriction. So what should we do? The solution is for SSH connection to node from Ansible server, make changes in SSHD configuration file. So for that, firstly, we need to run this file and here make these changes in all the new nodes and comment this below line, pub key authentication, then password authentication. So for that, firstly, exit, then run the command. And here, if I scroll down, here you can see pub key authentication. So uncomment this line, and if I scroll down, you can see password authentication, no replace with yes. Now save the file and exit. Now same for node 1. Run the command, go to the inside this file, and firstly you need to uncomment this pub key authentication, then password authentication, no replace with yes. Now save the file and exit. Now same for node 2. Uncomment this pub key authentication, Then password authentication, no, replace with yes. Now save the file and exit. Now it's done. Now we need to restart our ESSH service. So for that, you need to run this command in our all nodes. That means in our 3 instances. So run the command sudo service SSH restart, and if you want to check the status, then you can run the command status. So you can see it's running. Same for node 2. And then same for node, so same for node 1 and node 2. Now it's done. Now if you want to check the status, then you can run the command sudo service SSH status. So you can see running, and here also. It's running. Now it's done. Now we are going to connect our node 1. This is my Ansible, this is my node 1, and this is my node 2. And now I'm going to connect with node 1. Here you can see. So for that, firstly, switch to Ansible user. So run the command su-ansible. So enter password Ansible. Now you can see here, I'm in Ansible. Now run the command SSH and your IP. So this is my node 1 IP. So copy the IP and paste here. Enter your Ansible password. Now you can see it's successfully connected, because here you can see this is my private IP of node 1. It's 172.31.34.185. Here you can see 172.31.34.85. And now switch to Ansible user. This is my node 1. So enter password, and here if I run the command ls, so there is no file here also. And now I'm going to create one file here in node 1 using touch command, touch demo. And now run the command ls. So you can see a demo file. And now here run the command ls. Now here you can see demo. Now if I create one file here using touch command, touch demo 11, and run the command ls. So you can see a demo and demo 11, and go to the Ansible. Now run the command ls. So here you can see demo 11. So it's successfully connecting with node 1. Now if you want to exit, then run the command exit. Now connection to node 1 closed. Now I'm going to connecting with node 2. So run the command SSH, and then this is my node 2 IP. Then yes. Now password of your Ansible. Now clear the screen, and now you can see this is my private IP of node 2, 172.31.39.27. 172.31.39.27. Now here I'm going to switch to Ansible user. Now here enter password, and now run the command ls. There is no any file here also. There is no any file. If I creating file here using touch command, touch sample, then ls. So you can see a sample file. Now I'm going to run the ls command here. So you can see a sample. It's successfully connecting with node 2. Now if I run the command exit, that it connection node 2 closed, and I'm going to go back to my Ansible user. That means my Ansible server. So this is my Ansible server, this is node 1 and this is node 2. Now, when we are connecting with node 1 or node 2, then every time we need a password. So for that, we have a solution. So every time we need to enter a password when we connecting a node 1 or node 2. So for that, firstly, we need to generate SSH key. So for that, run the command SSH keygen, enter. Then run the command ls-a. Then you need to insert that .ssh. Then here you need to run this command. And here you need to paste your private IP. So go to the AWS account, and now here you can see this is my Ansible server, and now I'm going to connecting with node 1. So select node 1 and copy our private IP, and now run the command SSH copy ID Ansible @ and our private IP. Now press enter, then yes, and enter password for once. Now you can see it's connecting with node 1. Now if I run the command exit, now clear the screen, and now I want to connect again to my node 1. Then simply run the SSH and then copy your node 1 IP. So I can say yes. Sorry. Firstly, we need to switch to our Ansible user. So run the command su-ansible. And now here we are going to generate firstly keygen. We need to generate keygen in our Ansible user. It's also already exists. Okay, now we are going to run this SSH copy ID command. First, you need to switch user to your Ansible. Then here, paste your private IP. This is my node 1 private IP. Now you can see here 172.31.46.135. Now if I clear the screen and exit, and now switch the Ansible, and now I want to connecting with node 1. Now you can see it's connected. It is connecting without password. You can see 172.31.34.185. This is my node 1 IP address. So here now you can see I'm connecting with node 1 without password. If I enter exit, and now if I connect in the SSH, and now I'm trying to connect to node 2. So here it will ask Ansible password. Here you can see Ansible password. When I enter password, then it will connect to my node 2. But for node 1, if I enter SSH and then enter my node 1 IP, it will connect without password. Here you can see. This is my node 1 IP 72.31.34.195. Here you can see. So now we are going to do same for node 2. So firstly, here you can see we need to run the command SSH copy ID Ansible. We need to run the command firstly ls-a, then inside that .ssh. Then here we need to run the command SSH copy then here after here run the command SSH copy ID Ansible @ then after @ we need to enter our instance private IP address. So that's my node 2 private IP. Sorry, now because I'm in node 1, so this is my node 1 IP, and now I'm back to my Ansible server. Now this is my Ansible server, and now I'm going to run the command that SSH copy ID Ansible @ private IP address. And then here we need to enter our node 2 private IP. So I can say yes. So first once enter one password for once. Now you can see it's connected. It's 172.31.46.135. This is my IP, private IP. Now if I exit, now it's log out. Now switch to, so this is my Ansible server. Now I'm going to switch to Ansible user. I'm now enter Ansible password. Now I'm going to connecting node 2 SSH and my IP, my node 2 IP address. So this is my node 2 IP address. Now you can see here it's connected node 2 without password 172.31.39.27. 172.31.39.27. So you can see I'm connecting with node 2 without password. So that's the commands to firstly you need to generate key SSH key, then you need to inside that cd that .ssh folder, then you need to run this command SSH copy ID Ansible @ and private IP of your node. So now it's done. In this video, we have learned Ansible and how to install Ansible and how to set up. So I hope you like the video. So please like, share and subscribe our DevOps channel.